Now, as we just discussed, the actual cleaning properties of this water is quite important because typically, when we go out and buy our fruits and vegetables, or if we go to a good food store, to anywhere natural and buy something organic, a lot of times we'll take those and we will wash them under the sink. That's not such a good thing here. I'm going to run some more tap water just to show you what we have in our tap water. Now, we're going to run a little bit different test here. We're actually going to test the chlorine, the amount of chlorine that we have in this tap water. We'll put 4 drops there. We'll go ahead and stir this up. And that yellow color, you can see, is a ton of chlorine. That is a lot of chlorine. And of course, that chlorine's put in there, I guess, to protect us. But I certainly don't want to put this chlorine into my body. A typical glass of chlorinated water, if you take a shower, a 15-minute shower, you're going to absorb anywhere from 6 to 8 glasses of that chlorinated water through your skin, which of course is your largest organ. And so you don't want that to happen. But here's what happens when we go down to the store and we buy a fruit or a vegetable or whatever it is, and we decide to wash it off. We would normally put that right under the tap. And we're going to show you what happens when you do that. Get this nice and chopped up. Give this a nice little bath. There you go, making a mess. This right here. Going to give this a little stir, just like we would. I mean, I know my wife jumps in the bath and she'll take a nice 15 or 20-minute bath. Well, the good news is that we have a Nest Spa that we've actually got in our home. So when we bathe, we don't have to bathe in this tap water because this onion now is representing our skin. This onion also, it would be like any of the food that you would decide to run under the tap. And if you do that, watch what happens here. We pour this out. Take a look. What happened to that yellow chlorinated color? You know what happened. It's gone. The reason it's gone is it absorbed right into the onions, which now, of course, we're going to eat. I just put more chlorine drops in there to see how much chlorine's left in that water, and there's none. So what happened when we took our fruits and vegetables and we washed them under the tap? I think you just realized it. We didn't wash the vegetables. We washed the water. We literally cleaned the water. We filtered the water that we let go down the drain, and we put the chlorine and the other chemicals right into the food that we're about to eat. So that right there is pretty dramatic. And I'll tell you, I know that I don't want to ever shower or bathe in regular chlorinated water. I certainly don't want to have to wash my food in it by any means. And so you definitely want to actually go ahead and use our 11.5 water when it comes to cleaning off our foods. So let's go back now to these tomatoes, and let's see what's happened. Get a couple more glasses here, and let's go ahead and take a little look here. This is with the Dasani. Reverse osmosis water is in a lot of homes. People have these filter systems that are built right in, and basically they do it because they think that that water is very, very good for you. Now, what did we wash off of these tomatoes with that water? I think you can tell. Doesn't look like much. That looks like regular old clean water. Come over here. Now let's see what we washed off of this first set of tomatoes. Look at that water. That yellow color right there represents the pollutants that we actually have that are on those tomatoes. Typically, you would actually eat these, and if you were to taste the difference between the two, you will not want to eat these tomatoes. Because as you go ahead and grab these tomatoes, they're fantastic. They're sweet, and they just taste incredible. They taste exactly like they taste right out of the garden. So you don't want to ever have to eat food that you haven't washed in our water. So we'll go ahead and set these right aside here. Because I've got one last thing that I want to show you that is absolutely unbelievable. It is so unbelievable that Most folks, when they see this, they absolutely cannot believe what they just saw, and it is quite amazing. What I've got here is just some olive oil. We're just going to take some pure olive oil here. It's 100% extra virgin olive oil. Now, what happens when you typically mix water and oil? I think everybody knows that as you mix water and oil, they don't mix. Just like we've been taught in school, everything we've ever been taught, that's exactly what happens is they don't mix. The oil just floats right to the top. But what's pretty amazing about our water is that you've got, take some more of this 11.5 water. This water has cleaning powers that are so amazing that you can actually, when it comes to cleaning those tomatoes, as we saw, it took everything off of those tomatoes. Most of the herbicides and pesticides today are oil-based. So anything that they're putting onto our food, they make it oil-based so it doesn't wash off when it rains. It makes sense. But when we take our 11.5 water now and we actually pour this into olive oil, look what just happened. That is completely emulsified right in the cup. That's amazing. There's chemists out there that say that's impossible. That shouldn't happen. But look at that. We just emulsified this oil. Talk about cleaning properties. Talk about being able to clean your shower or clean the car or clean anything greasy. You know, if the kids go out and get something on their clothes that they shouldn't have, you're going to be able to cut it and break it down. This oil, you know, it represents the gunk and the junk in the body. And look at how if we put the right water into our body by putting a high pH water in our body, we can actually take this right out of it. And so that right there is reason enough for anybody to go ahead and get one of these machines. So I hope today that I've shown you exactly what you need to see and to actually be able to tell what this machine can do for you in your home. Because everything that this machine has, it has the water level starting at 8.5 pH up to 9, and the 9.5, we have a 7.0 water, which is the water for medication. If anybody's taking a medication, you know, a pharmaceutical, you have to be careful because just like it multiplies the effects of the feed, it'll do the same thing for the medication. And so we have a clean water function here, 7.0, and if you were going to take a medication, you would want to go 30 minutes before or 30 minutes after taking it, you'd want to use our 7.0 water. We also have a 5.5 acidic water, and then we have the strong acidic, the 2.5 water, which has amazing properties, you know, as we've seen on this disc today. So basically, you know, this machine produces all the different waters that you're going to need in your home. You can get all the chemicals out of your house that you don't want to have into your house. You can put the absolute best water into your bodies and to everybody in your family. And I hope that now you understand how important it is that you put this water in your body.